Hot 103, the hottest hit music station. You're chilling with your boy Henry G on a Sunday afternoon. Right now, it's an honor to be joined by special guest Miss Krazie. Thanks for joining me and welcome to the show.
What's up, people? It's your homegirl, Miss Krazie.
What is a typical Sunday afternoon like for you?
A typical Sunday would probably be just chilling at the house, watching movies. I'm a big Netflix fan. Just sitting, kicking back, watching a bunch of Netflix movies and eating that good Mexican food and just chilling.
Who did you grow up listening to and who inspired you to pursue a career in rap music?
You know, I grew up listening to a lot of the old school Mexican rap. I remember probably the first actual Spanish rap I heard was maybe by a group called Galo from Mexico. I remember somehow the tape ended up in my hands and they had a song called Ponte Atento and they were huge, and this is probably beginning of the 90s, early 90s, and that, I liked the sound then. I didn't really pay attention about the rapping, but I liked the sound. That's when I knew that I liked the whole Latin rap feel. Now, a little bit later in the 90s, I came across a group called Control Machete, also out of Mexico, and that was it for me. The lead vocalist from that group, his name is Fermin Cuarto. His voice was really strong. Now, my voice in Spanish, everybody would always say that I have a really strong voice in Spanish, that I sound a lot more sweet and delicate when I speak in English, but in Spanish my voice is a lot stronger. And when I heard his voice, I said, you know what, maybe I could try this out, and that really motivated me. The fact that his voice was really hardcore and just, you know, strong like that, it made me have confidence in my voice to say, you know what, maybe I can be in the music industry as well. And that's where I started getting all my influence from, was from that group when it comes to rap. Influence overall as far as music goes, I would have to say it came from my dad. He was in a lot of groups while I was growing up, so I got to attend a lot of his shows, and I just loved it, man. I loved the feel, I loved the stage, I loved everything he did, and I wanted that for myself, so that's what happened.
What does your dad think of the type of Latin hip-hop you're doing now?
You know what? Yeah, I got some help for it at the beginning. My parents are the very Mexican type of parents, and they associate rap with violence, drugs, and gangs. I don't know how many times my mom kept asking me if I was in a gang. Are you in a gang? You know, why are you doing this? And I told my mom, no, this is not about any of that. At least to me, rap is not about the violence or any of that. It's just, that's what fit my voice. At least that's how I feel, and I felt that my voice was made for that. Maybe if I would have had a different type of voice, I would have done singing. I mean, I love rock en español. If I could do rock music, I would have probably gone and done rock music instead. But my voice is rap, and at first, yeah, they were a little bit concerned. But after hearing my lyrics and just knowing that it was a way for me to express myself and express any sadness, anything that I had inside of me with any personal experience, it just happened like that. And after a while, they got used to it. I mean, I watch myself, don't get me wrong, I have a lot of respect for them, and I try to watch myself a lot when it comes to my lyrics, sometimes because of them. But other times, I mean, you can't hold back feelings. They're pretty much used to it. They just don't want me going crazier or doing anything dumb.
Being in a male-dominated industry, what do you feel was the biggest obstacle you had to overcome early on? And do you feel like a lot of people slept on your music early on?
I wouldn't say that I think they slept on it. I just don't think it was the right time. I listened to a lot of my recordings from when I first started, and I am actually a little bit glad. It ran its course the way it should have. I needed to prepare myself a lot better and grow a lot more before actually taking the serious step of getting signed or any of that stuff. So I'm glad. Stuff that I had to overcome, well, yeah, just about the trust issues with a lot of the music people. You know, it was just real hard to trust somebody saying that they were going to help me when I had already heard that from a lot of other people before. So, I mean, when I met Urban Kings, I was a little bit iffy at first, but once I started seeing results and actually progress, that's when I started feeling a lot better about it.
What were some of your early goals, and do you feel like you've accomplished those goals, or do you feel like you're on your way to accomplishing them?
My goals when I first started, I wanted to hold my CD. I wanted to be able to say, you know what, this is my album, and here you go. I remember holding a Mr. Shadow CD, Till I Die CD from him, and just somehow wishing that one day I would be able to do the same thing. And be able to hold an album and say, you know, this is the fruit of my labor, if you could call it that, and have something to show for all these times that I talked to everybody and told them about my dreams and everything, you know, just have something to show for myself. And once that got completed, everything else was just, you could say, an add-on. I could say that if I was to not do any more music anymore, I would be okay. I don't know, I guess you can say I take things as they go, day by day. I'm not rushing into anything, and I don't really have any expectations or anything. I just go with whatever's thrown at me at the time and just hope for the best. I mean, God will allow me to get as far as I can get, you know, as far as He knows I could handle. The stress in the music is just sometimes too much, but so far, so good, Henry.
Now, you touched on it, you're a part of Urban Kings. How did you initially get in contact with Urban Kings? How did you end up signing with them? And also, what does Urban Kings as a label represent to you?
Alright, well, I met Urban Kings through an artist at that time. He was in Universal, I believe. His name was Don Abusivo. They had done a story on him on a website, and at the end of the story they had done on him, they had put an email address. Now, I didn't know if this was his direct email address, if this was the label's email address, his representative or his booking agent. I didn't know. But I took that email address, I wrote to him, and I told him, you know what, this is what I do, and I just wanted to ask you, how did you do it? I mean, he was signed to Universal. To me, that was just like that he had made it big. And so I wanted to know his secret. I wanted to know what it took for him to get signed. And within, you know, a week passed, 2 weeks passed, he didn't get back to me. So by that time, I kind of gave up hope on receiving an email from him. And then one day, I got an email. I got an email reply actually back from him, and it had his contact information. And he told me that he would like to talk to me. So, you know, I got on that phone as quick as I could, and I went ahead and called him up. He told me that if there was any way I could send him or show him a little bit of what I had, and I actually had recorded something on my computer already by then, and I sent it to him. And within a couple of days, I had a call from David Salas, which is the producer that does all the stuff for Urban Kings and does a lot of work for major labels as well. And he wanted to meet up, and that's when my heart dropped, and I said, oh my God, we could be on to something. I went to meet up with him and recorded some stuff for him while I was there, and then that ended up in the hands of Urban Kings, and they hit me up and they said, you know, we like what you have, would you like to roll with us? And at that point I was a little bit skeptic because of all my past experience with people that promised this and that, but I seen their motivation, I seen their seriousness, and somehow I just went along with it. And you know, I'm really glad that I did, because that was a huge stepping stone for me from, you know, being just the girl that was uploading her music everywhere she could, going to every show she could to see if she would get a chance to even, you know, show people something of what she had, to actually being part of something that was something real good. And to me, Urban Kings has become more of a family now. We all get along pretty good. I'm just real grateful. That's basically what I could say about them.